So, as some people know, I am getting my psychiatric nurse practitioner license. I just finished my first clinical. If the uploads have been scant lately, that is because I've been busy. So, I just got done with my clinical session. I will be done with clinicals until January. Hopefully, the streams and the uploads will increase in quantity. Me and Dubsy have a Monday, Wednesday, Friday upload plan. Hope to stick to it. So, all that being said, the reason I bring this up is because I feel like I have a pretty good grip on what qualifies as a mental illness and how to treat mental illnesses and conditions, right? I'm not perfect. I still have a lot to learn, but I do pretty good. All that being said, the SCOTUS, the Supreme Court, is apparently bringing back conversion therapy. I heard about this earlier today. We have the CBN News video, Can States Restrict Free Speech for Therapists? Now, here's the thing. As a therapist, sure, you have free speech, but you also have a duty to treat. Okay? I cannot just tell my patients, wow, that sounds really stupid. It sounds like that you should suck it up. You know, just suck it up. No, I'm not giving you medications, you ingrate. Just suck it up and go do the shit you're supposed to do. You know, I could do that. I won't because that'd be okay. Like, the freedom of speech doesn't apply to therapists while you're giving therapy. Ridiculous. All right, Supreme Court here's conversion therapy case.
Haley Childs is a licensed counselor and...
By the way, conversion therapy, for, I guess, those who might not know, basically, you know, it's trying to de-gay people. Okay? Or de-trans people. Because apparently it's bad if you're a boy and you like boys, or you were born a boy and want to be a girl, or whatever, however you want to say it. Or you don't want to be either a boy or a girl. Like, it's all bad. It's really, really bad for some reason. It's not like hurting anybody or anything, but like, we just think it's icky. So we're going to send you to a camp where people will torture you and, you know, tell you that you're not valid in your identity and you're an affront to God. And you're going to hell if you don't, you know, shape up, I guess. Is verbal and emotional abuse at usually a religious outing or camp? Yes. Yeah, it's been debunked many times. Many times. Doesn't matter. They won't call it conversion therapy anymore. They won't call it conversion therapy anymore because that's been tainted, because we know that doesn't work now. So now they're just trying to say, well, we have freedom of speech. We can say whatever we want during therapy. Motherfucker, no, you can't. That's not how therapy works. Anyway,
practicing Christian who wants to talk openly with young clients about faith and identity. She says Colorado law censors those conversations.
Okay.
When I am actively having my speech chilled, then I can't be transparent and honest and genuine with my clients.
Which speech? What are you trying to say to your client? That's so funny to me, is like, anytime somebody says, I have the freedom of speech to say these things. Like, this is, okay, if you wanted to be serious, if you were a serious actor, what you would be saying is not, I can't exercise my free speech. What you would be saying is, they're keeping me from treating my patients, which is what I'll be saying, okay? If they ever try to give me this bullshit about how I can't, like, trans people or whatever, okay? I won't be saying you're restricting my free speech, wah. I'll be saying you're keeping me from treating people who need to be treated. So I'm not complying.
And that's a real disservice to them.
Child's legal...
Alec teaching them how to grift? No, she's grifting perfectly. She's doing it perfectly.
The Alliance Defending Freedom calls the ban a direct attack on her First Amendment rights and religious beliefs.
This is voluntary therapy where a client is there for counseling conversations, asking to fulfill their own...
What's her name?
To fulfill their own goals, which include for counseling...
Kate Anderson. Yeah, that tracks.
Conversations asking to fulfill their own goals, which include aligning their biological sex with the way that they feel, with their gender, and feeling like they can live according to their faith.
Conversion therapy.
Aligning their biological sex to their gender and feeling like they can live according to their faith. Whose side is she on? I'm confused. Because if you're aligning your biological sex with the gender you identify as, that would be transitioning. That would be physically transitioning, right? Like, medically. I legitimately do not understand what she's getting at. I think she's just trying to sound smart.
Therapy, also known as reparative therapy, often involves
reparative
prayer,
therapy. They're calling it reparative therapy now. Great.
Support or other counseling methods.
The Colorado
involves prayer. What valid treatment involves prayer? No. If prayer works for you personally, go do it. It can be a therapeutic practice, okay? But it's just as therapeutic, and not even as therapeutic, in my opinion, as meditation. It literally is just kind of meditation. Like, it's very similar. Go meditate.
Pastoral support or other counseling methods.
The Colorado law at issue here prohibits conversations
journal.
that it perceives designed to change an individual's sexual orientation or gender
Good.
identity, but
Good. You should never, if you're a therapist, your goal should never be, never, to change the gender identity or sexual orientation of a patient. You are committing malpractice. You are literally increasing your client's chance for suicidality. You should have your license taken away.
allows conversations that affirm and support sexual orientation and gender identity.
Yes.
The American Psychiatric Association, American Medical Association, and American Academy of Pediatrics are among organizations condemning the practice, warning it can lead to depression, low self-esteem, and possibly suicide.
It doesn't work, has no basis, and regardless of how it's
Finally. See, he's a man, so he's smart.
performed, there can be real harm.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
This practice.
In a statement, Phil Weiser also
It's just funny that, like, he was the first man and he also happened to be the one who knew what he was talking about.
insists it does not prevent healthcare professionals from sharing information, content, or viewpoints with
Dark
a
Wolf,
patient
thank you.
or others, and does not require therapists to affirm
Does not prevent healthcare professionals from sharing information, content, or viewpoints with a patient or others. Does not require therapists to affirm any orientation or identity. Phil Weiser, Colorado Attorney General. Yeah.
any orientation or identity. Critics argue Colorado has a pattern of
You just can't do conversion therapy. You can't do it. It's torture. You are increasing a child's risk, or an adult's risk even, of suicide. You cannot do it.
policies that discriminate
Big no-no.
against people of faith, citing cases involving
You.
a web designer
No. F you. You're discriminating against me. Just stop being Christian. Just stop being Christian. Like straight up. I've met Christians who are completely affirming of gay and trans people. They're in my audience right now. But if you feel like your Christianity is keeping you from being able to accept gay and trans people, then stop being a Christian. Just stop, okay? Your God sucks. He's going to send people to eternal damnation for doing absolutely nothing wrong except being themselves, I guess. And you should stop being a Christian, or at least be an anti-theist.
who declined same-sex
Rebel
marriage
against
services, and Baker Jack Phillips, who faced numerous complaints for refusing cakes celebrating same-sex weddings and gender transition.
I think it should be socially ostracized to not, like, sell these cakes. And I think you have a valid discrimination case. Absolutely. Like imagine if this were an interracial couple. And they're like, oh, we don't make cakes for interracial couples here. Get out. That's against my religion. Which was an excuse that they used back in the day. It was against your faith to be in favor of miscegenation. Not these days. So I guarantee you, nobody would be questioning whether or not it's appropriate to sue these people for discrimination if this were a white man and a black woman, for instance. Okay? Sure, there'd be some dumbasses who, like, defend them. Absolutely. Especially these days. But I think the general public has pretty much accepted the fact that, quote-unquote, race mixing is fine. Nobody cares anymore. And so they'd be like, yeah, that's pretty shitty. Why would you do that? That's discrimination. Yeah, that's a valid case.
Gender
Same
transition.
deal here.
Colorado also recently passed a law, HB 1312, that demands the use of so-called preferred pronouns in any space of public accommodation.
What is her... Who is this? They said her name, I'm sure. I don't like her. Sarah Parshall Perry, Defending Education. Here, let's look her up, shall we? Sarah Perry the Platypus. The Heritage Foundation. Beautiful. Sarah Parshall Perry is Vice President and Legal Fellow at Defending Education. What is this? FedSoc.org? America, the Federalist Society. Very, very good stuff. Before coming to Defending Education, Sarah served as a Senior Legal Fellow for the Edwin Meese III Center for Legal and Judicial Studies, part of the Institute for Constitutional Government at Heritage, where her work centered on civil rights and the proper role of the courts. Oh yeah, civil rights. I'm sure you care a lot about that. Sarah joined the Heritage after serving at senior counsel, blah, 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 lots of places that she went. Co-chair the Employment Engagement, Diversity, and Inclusion Council. I don't care about any of that. Like, an in-house, it just keeps glazing. This is just a lot of glazing. She's a horrific person who is currently advocating for conversion therapy.
Last year, the 10th Circuit upheld Colorado's minor conversion therapy
She has no actual qualifications.
law, ruling it regulates professional cakes celebrating same-sex weddings and gender transition.
Colorado also recently passed a law, HB 1312, that demands the use of so-called preferred pronouns.
Using pronouns and names is just the correct procedure for dealing with trans clients. I literally, during my clinical, had APEA questions. Look up APEA, okay? If you want to pay for the program, you can. Anybody can access it. It's QBank, okay? It's very expensive. I don't recommend you purchase it. But if you want proof, you can do that. I can also go in and screen cap it. But there are questions on there related to trans people, okay? We learned this in psychiatry, okay? As a psych NP. And you learn that when a trans person asks you, hey, are you using my preferred name in your charting? Guess what your answer should be? Yes, I am. Yes, you can look at it right here. I am putting your name down and I'm using the correct pronouns in my charting. And if they demand to see their notes that you took and it's not the correct name and pronouns, they can sue you, okay? You're not supposed to do that because that means that you don't actually respect them, okay? We learned that in NP school. Not that she would know. She has no qualifications. She's just a bitch.
Pronouns in any space of public accommodation.
Last year, the 10th Circuit upheld Colorado's minor conversion therapy law, ruling it regulates professional conduct, not speech, a key
Accept
question
trans people
now
or
before
get
the High
lost.
Court.
LGBTQ advocacy groups are warning that this case could set a dangerous precedent.
Colorado is among 24 states plus Washington, D.C. that bans conversion therapy for minors.
They are, I do think they're doing a pretty good job here, CBN, because they brought in like legitimate experts, but I just don't like that they front loaded it with three dumbasses. You know what I mean? Like they really front loaded this thing. I'm not saying that they necessarily like were trying to make it look like, you know, just two sides duking it out, because they are kind of being very critical of the pro-conversion therapy side. They're still referring to it as conversion therapy, which they don't want you to do anymore because they know that like that's bad. You have to say conversion therapy is bad these days. So they're still calling it that. But I do wish they hadn't front-loaded it with the dumbasses. 7.5 out of 10.
For the health and safety of our LGBTQ patients, it is crucial that the dangerous practice of conversion therapy be banned nationwide.
Agreed.
5 states have partial bans, while 4, Alabama, Georgia, Indiana, and Florida, currently prohibit them. Depending on the court's decision, it could have major impact nationwide.
Bans prohibited. So there are 4 states that you're literally not allowed to ban conversion therapy. You're literally not allowed to say that you can't torture gay and trans people. That's pretty cool.
Nationwide.
Because think about the implications if we start pulling back on the free speech of professionals in this country.
And then they end it with the dumbass. Pulling back on the free speech of professionals in this country. It's not about your free speech. What kind of healthcare professionals are you people? This is like soulless demon shit. What's her qualifications? Alliance Defending Freedom. You have no qualifications. If you did, it'd be listed here. What makes you think that you can speak on this? Shut up.
Under the Colorado law, counselors like Childs face fines and suspended or revoked licenses. The court's ruling is expected by June. In Washington.
Good shit. Well, as a healthcare professional myself, I will not be engaging in any kind of conversion therapy practices, no matter how much they coerce me to. And I will still be treating gay and trans people as their preferred, with respect, okay? So it's just good practice. Like this is what the evidence tells us to do. Where's the disconnect? Why didn't they bring on any actual professionals who said, yeah, actually all that data is bullcrap and here's why? Because there is none. You cannot deny that conversion therapy or correctional therapy, or whatever you want to call it, I forget what they called it, God therapy, is wrong. It's bad, okay? It is bad, period. You will not find one that says it's good. When these horrid people are in old folks' homes, the young people that had to grow up with laws against their identity, those old folks are going to be in for some personal hell. We must find it in ourselves to not be vindictive. I still want good things for horrible people. Because maybe if they had some of those good things, they wouldn't be so horrible. I don't know for sure. I certainly care more about the people that they're inflicting pain upon. But like, I don't want these people to grow up and then be like abandoned. You know, wouldn't you rather they just be better people? Just be a good person. What's so hard about that? I'm not trying to scold. Because I get the sentiment and it comes from a good place. I try to be better than that. It's not really what I meant. I'm not saying for them to be cruel to the old people. I know you're not. Like, if you're a trans person though, and like your parents treated you like shit, you're completely within your right to just like cut them off and ignore them. Even no matter how old they get. Let's say they're like 80 and infirm, and they're like, they call you for the first time in 25 years, dead name you, misgender you, and then say, you got to come help me. I can't walk anymore. I have to live with you. I have to live with you, dead name. I know you want to be called a woman, but I'm not going to call you one. Now let me live with you. I'm your fucking parents. We're your parents. We're your parents. We gave birth to you. I didn't ask for that. Yeah, you're completely within your right to do that, is my point. In Iowa, conservatives argue we are progressive, but we still have conversion therapy. That's pretty cool. I love my mom so much, thank goodness. Yeah, cherish the people who are good to you, okay? No matter what happens, you will make it through this, okay? You will make it through this. You have to believe that. Unfortunately, you know, this world has always been cruel to people, you know, of certain groups. In the past few centuries, it just happens to be, you know, people of this assortment. And it's not over. The fight is not over, okay? And it probably will not end in our lifetimes. But we can try to work as hard as we can to make things better for the people who come after us. Try to leave the world a little bit better off than it was. So whoever you are, I speak from an area of enormous privilege, but keep your head up. Keep chugging along no matter what happens. And find people who care about you and who accept you for who you are. It's the best advice I can give. Hi, thanks so much for watching and making it to the end of the video. I just wanted to let you all know that I love and appreciate everybody in my community, whether you can support me financially or just by liking, commenting, and sharing my videos. It helps way more than you know. That being said, I do want to give a very special thanks to my tier 4 subs, which would be Space Timid and Hot Take Andy. And thanks so much to my monetary subscribers from any of the tiered subs or anybody who gives me money in any form, including going to my Patreon shop, donating money to me directly. It all helps way more than you know. If you do decide to help me financially, you can get some really cool perks like early access to content, exclusive access to censored videos, also some really cool badges next to your name. Even if you can't afford a monetary subscription, just watching, sharing, and commenting on my content helps way more than you know. Thanks again, and I will see you all in the next video.